Rain, of course. After a bad night's sleep, the last thing you needed was buckets of slippery droplets to slow you down on your way to work. Perhaps if you had bothered to check the weather report, you would have at least grabbed for a jacket or an umbrella. But you hadn't, and you were already running late. There was no going back if you didn't want to arrive late to your shift. So you grin and bear it, braving the weather in nothing but your uniform and your shoulder bag. The pants weren't the problem, neither were your shoes, even if they weren't made for sprints in wet conditions. The only thing that worried you was your white button-down shirt. You wished you had your apron as an extra layer to shield you, but that particular part of your work ensemble was waiting for you on a hook at the cafe, dry and cozy while you were drenched and miserable. You tried not to think about it as you take a break to catch your breath under the awning of a shop that hadn't opened its doors yet for the day. You close your eyes, inhaling slowly with your hand over your chest, listening to the dozens of raindrops dully hitting the slanted sheet above you. You are so exhausted already, half considering calling in for the day, that you don't register the jingling of bells and sound of a pair of boots approach you.
My, who do we have here so early in the morning?
You open your eyes to find a familiar green clown taking shelter from the rain beside you, his signature grin stretched behind his mask. You greet him by wishing him a good morning, asking him in return what he was doing. He wiggles a stack of soaked leaflets for the circus in his hand.
I was meant to hand these out, but it seems all the city's little mice have scurried off the streets to escape the rain.
You hum an acknowledgement, commenting that you don't really blame them if the rain at least slowed down a little. He stares at you suddenly, his gaze creeping over you in a way that makes you fidget nervously with the strap of your bag. For a moment, he doesn't say anything, even if you can tell by the way his grin quirks at the corner that he's thinking something. Then he steps a little closer to you, the bells on the tip of his hat softly jingling as he tilts his head towards you. His grin has gotten wider, the corners of his eyes crinkling with mischief.
That's a very daring look you've got going on there. It's almost as if you're begging me to stare.
You look down to follow his gaze to find your shirt had soaked through just as you had worried. Your face grows hot as you feebly hunch yourself forward, pulling your small shoulder bag to cover at least part of your figure. There was really very little left to the imagination with how tightly the wet fabrics clung to your flesh. You explain in an embarrassed grumble that you were caught off guard from the rain. He chuckles to himself, noticing with amusement how you are unable to meet his eyes again. You check your watch, panic shooting through you as you notice the time. If you didn't hurry now, you'd barely make it to start your shift on time. And yet you find your feet rooted in place. You were cold, tired, and standing in a shirt that looked like you had won some kind of questionable contest.
Lucky for me, I found you, and not that big red dog of yours.
Harlequin says, his expression going a little dark. That gets your attention. You lift your head and look to him, asking if Perrault was also on flyer duty this morning. Harlequin shrugs with a conspiratorial smile.
He's not here right now, is he? It's just you and me.
He leans even closer, visible delight crossing his features as you grow more flustered from his proximity. He likes this. He likes how reactive you are to every little movement and touch. He likes how you shrink away from him, not out of fear, but out of coyness. You shake your head, your eyes averting to the damp street behind him. Wherever he was, Perrault was not here. Right now, it was only you and the green clown in front of you. The one who knew how to make your skin tingle in a way you couldn't quite explain.
Are you coming again tonight?
He asks you. You nod. He pulls a green ticket out of his pocket and waves it slowly in front of you.
How about you take my ticket for once then? I can show you a much more interesting time.
You shake your head and produce a red ticket out of your bag. You watch as a flicker of irritation flashes briefly over his face. You barely caught it before he once again peers down at you with a teasing twinkle in his eyes.
Such a shame, really. You have no idea the kind of fun we could have if only you allowed yourself to forget about that hopeless romantic for a bit.
He traces his claw along the collar of your shirt, going silent. All you can hear is the rain relentlessly hitting the awning above you and his faint breath. You dare to glance directly at him, your heart skipping a beat. For once, his expression seemed softer and more aloof, lacking the usual nonchalant flirtatiousness they usually carried. He notices you staring, his lips curving upwards again.
Like what you see?
You are so entranced by his presence that you answer without thinking, telling him you do. He looks a little surprised for a moment before he hums suggestively, his fingers working to undo the tie of his cape around his neck. Your heart begins to hammer. He's not going to undress here on the street to get close to you like that one time in his tent, is he? In a swift, gentle motion, he transfers his cape from his back to wrap it around your shoulders.
I always thought green would suit you so much better than red. And this way, no one else will get to see that delectable skin of yours, except for me.
Your fingers curl around the front of the cape to pull it closer together, his familiar smell wafting off of it. You thank him in a small voice, your face flushing with both gratitude and something else. Harlequin chuckles, his claw tapping your name tag.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Your face goes pale, and like a person stung by a bee, you shoot off back into the rain, shouting another thank you over your shoulder as you rush off. Harlequin watches you, leaning with his arms crossed over his chest as your shape, clad in his cape, disappears into the rainy distance. You don't hear the words he mumbles quietly to himself, a sentiment he is barely ready to admit to himself, much less to you.
It wouldn't hurt to keep your eyes on me a bit more, dear one.